Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? I am one tired mother. These people above me are loud music till 1 and then woke me up out of a deep sleep at 3, yelling, the dog barking. Not a pretty sight. I'm going to have to call the mafia on them and we'll take care of them. Anyway, so I'm a little tired. I'm in my day 3 of my fast. Started Wednesday night. Didn't eat Thursday. Didn't eat yesterday. I was going to eat last night. No. And now I'm back up to, at noon will be 48, 60, 66. I think the idea is to wait till dinner time tonight. I really want to do a deep one and really clean up. It's a rare opportunity when you can make 48 hours, and now you're on the third day, where if I go till tonight, it's 72 hours because the guy inside's cleaning you. And that's really important. It's like let the maid finish cleaning, right? And so that's how I'm like right now. It's like, oh, if we can go a little bit longer. I mean, I had my coffee and I had my water. And that's it. So we will see. Gold 32.41. So again, the derivatives knocked it down. I mean, it's fine. It's 32.62. And then it goes down to 32.28. Most of them were small downs. And then you see this down at noon. And then it crawled halfway back. But China is now going to buy. And hey, David. And I think what happens is at the end of the month or on Fridays, the U.S. kind of does push the price down for whatever reason. I don't really know. It's not a real price anyway. And then we've got China about to come out. So let's go through. So Mark McGuire had a video. I'm going to do baseball, basketball first, then I'll do that. So Mark McGuire had a very interesting video because he didn't have a guest. And July 1st is the date when we got to go Basel III in Tier 1, and that's going to mean they have to cover the gold and silver, and that's going to make then they're going to they'll have to buy it. Right now, they don't have to buy silver; they have to buy some gold, but not silver. And so what's going to happen is with the silver, they have to go buy it and cover all what people ask for delivery. So when you do the derivative. There's a buy and a sell side, like I show you on Trading Places. And so when they're selling to short it, there's a buyer, and the buyer is saying, I want to take delivery of the silver and the gold. I don't trust that you have any money and you're going to pay me. I would prefer taking delivery. And that's where we're at. So to take delivery, you have to have it. We don't have the gold. The U.S. does not have any gold or silver. They're broke. I don't think there's much out there. I think it's been bought up. And they're trying to keep it down because of the 8 billion banks are going to go broke because they're going to have to fess up to their derivatives that they already have. And when they do that, they're going to be in big trouble. They won't be able to cover it, and they're all going to be trillions of dollars in losses. So if you're at Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, get your money out. Well, you should get your money out anyway, but just be very careful. They're all going to go broke. And they really won't be able to get bailed out because there's no money to bail them out with. Anyway, and then he talked about BRICS, gold-backed currency happening. There's a meeting July 17th in Brazil where they should announce it. And then he said China, and I'll show you the video. And then he says China is the one who's actually going to, gold will start being priced in Chinese dollars, not in the US dollars. I think gold should be priced in gold and not anybody's currency because the Chinese dollar isn't any better than us. None of the dollars are any good. So therefore, the price is really, just let gold be gold. Don't put it in a different currency. Doesn't solve the problem. It's 7-1. So $1 buys you 7 reabnes, or the yuan, the Chinese. So if it's $1,000, that puts it at 7. Now, I don't know what they're going to price it at, but I got to imagine it's a pretty big chunk. Silver on the other hand is 32.05. Who cares? It's just buyable. I might go buy some today. We will see. And anyway, let's go to baseball. Now, I wasn't on yesterday, and I did hit the basketball game. So I hit my lock. If we go back to 5-1, 5-1, I had New York beating Detroit as a dog, and they won the series. That was one of the unusual times I didn't take the home team needing to win to stay alive in the series, but Detroit's not very good, and they can't be favored over anybody in the playoffs, and they lost 116-113. So I hit the Knicks, and then my lock was San Diego over Denver, an elimination game at home, lane 5. They won by 6, 111-105. So I'm just so hot in basketball. Yesterday, lock, I had Houston over Golden State. Again, Houston was going to be eliminated. Golden State was a 5 or 6 point favorite. And I said, well, Houston's at worst, they're going to lose close. And then they end up winning 115-107. You can't really look at the last game. You have to look at what's happening in the series. Series tied 3-3. The game will be at Houston. Depending on the points, this should be a very close game. I don't see, Steph Curry's been there before, and that's the bet. Let's look at today. We got San Diego at Denver, game 7. Denver's a 1.5 favorite, 207.5. If I knew enough about over-unders, I'd tell you that way, but I don't. It's very hard to do over-unders in pros. I need more time. But in this situation, so it's an elimination game. Basically, who's the better team? You're getting San Diego plus a 1.5. What do you do with that, right? Do you take San Diego or do you take Denver because they're at home? Now, before in the 80s, the home team would win, but it was always Magic or Larry Bird or Isaiah would be the home team. And then, of course, they would win, especially Boston. Larry Bird was killer. So I don't know here. I guess San Diego won the last game. So I guess you probably want Denver at home to win. 1.5. It's not a big lay. So I think Denver, I think I would go with Denver in a game 7 at home. And the key is the role players play much better at home. So in a game 7, it would be better. Oh, I forgot to take my picture. For Daria. So anyway, normally the home team wins because the role players play better. I guess it's the crowd. I'm not sure, but they do play much better at home than on the road. The guys, that's why they're role players and not stars. Larry Bird had no problem, but maybe Dennis Johnson wasn't as strong on the road. Isaiah Lambert could do it, and Magic and Kareem could do it. Then you get maybe AC Green's better at home or something. Anyway, so that's basketball. It's on 7:30 and it's on TNT. True. Why isn't it on fucking TV? I don't get TNT. It's not part of my cable. I don't know what True TV is. I don't get why they don't show this on regular TV. And then you wonder why attendance is down and you wonder why the viewership's down. Well, I'll tell you that Luca Brasi on the Lakers is terrible. I mean, he just dribbles a little bit, does a fake, shoots a 3-point shot from half court. Really getting the offense into it. He's terrible. All right, so let's take Denver. Very small. It's not like yesterday's game with Houston was a lock, unfortunately. All right. Major League Baseball. Boy, this is confusing the shit out of me. We locked the under with Scanes the other day against another really good pitcher, and Pitt didn't even win the game. And there was like 11 runs scored. It was crazy. All right. And we're off. All right. Today, 5-3, 1 o'clock. It's 11:15. I gave you 2 hours today. All right, 5-3. We got Tampa and the Yankees. Yankees just aren't hitting. Um, I have to renew my thing because there's some teams have some injuries, and I think they have 5 hitters and they have 2 hitters, and a couple of guys with zeros that are batting. The biggest problem I have with the managers, you're taking a 300 hitter out who hits left-handed. They bring in a lefty reliever, and you bring in a right-handed pinch hitter who hits 085. What is the point of that? So are you telling me your 300 hitter is not a 300 hitter? He's a 300 hitter against righties, but not lefties? Then he's not a 300 hitter. A man who doesn't spend time with his family is not a real man, and that's what I'm looking at. I mean, this is a joke. He's not a 300 hitter. He's got to hit both sides, both pitchers, not just one. What are they thinking? And then you pinch hit him with an 085 hitter. Well, how many times do you think that guy's going to get a hit? I don't know what to say. This is too much analytics involved. It's ridiculous. I mean, the managers don't even manage. Somebody had a Max Fried with the no hitter, and then they take him out. You know, oh, it's close to 100 pitches. Why is that the magic number? Because analytics says on average and it's a joke. As we know, we're all different. Everybody's different. Women are different. Guys are different. What are you doing? I have an Alyssa story for you after this. All right. The Yankees minus 199.5. Zach Littell 1-5 with a 5.03. Ryan Yarbrough for the Yanks 0-0 with the 4.11. The game's in New York, 9.5. Tampa, 5 hitters. The Yankees 4. There should be scoring. The Zach Littell with a 5 ERA. And this is the problem. You get a 5 ERA, but he matches up well with the team and he shuts them out. He doesn't match up well with the team and he gives up 9 runs. How do you know if he matches up well? Football, we got it down to a science. That's easy. You're either a Lamar or you're a Mahomes. And Lamar's the running quarterbacks, and then you see how they play, and then Mahomes is the more pocket passer who can actually throw the ball. Hey, David, TK, did they do okay in the draft, the Raiders? Well, they got Gentry. They should have got Dylan Gabriel. I don't know what they're thinking. They don't have a quarterback, and that's really the key. They did get some offensive linemen and some defense. We don't know how good they are. We don't even know if they'll make the team. Again, it's a draft, and you have players on the team. So you have 8 linemen already. They're not going to just give up their jobs so some rookie could come in, really doesn't know what he's doing, and take the job. And the same thing in defense. So Gentry should get it and even then they still had a good running back, but you don't have a quarterback. How are you going to compete? And Denver, San Diego, and KC have quarterbacks, and you don't. I did not understand that taking Dylan Gabriel. I like one guy thought he was too small, and I'm like, yeah, we'll see. He's a winner, and at Oregon they have, pro linemen too. What are you talking about? So he beat Ohio State, as far as I'm concerned. That's enough for me. So I don't know. I like Coach Pete, very good coach, and Sean Payton, very good coach. And that's the key. Harbaugh I don't like. Neither Harbaugh I like. So I think they'll be good. Geno Smith, hasn't done anything. I don't even know how he got drafted. I think he was from West Virginia or Virginia Tech, and he didn't really do much. So I don't know. But because you got Coach Pete, I'm sure he had more talent at USC than he's got here, but we will see. But, it's Gentry and Crosby. And do you have a receiver? Well, you got Brock Bowers. So you got 3 or 4 guys, but not enough to beat Kansas City. Probably not enough to beat Denver or San Diego. Maybe 9-8 this year, depending on what Geno Smith does. But he had Metcalf last year and he didn't do anything. So it's hard to rely on Geno Smith to do anything. So I don't know. We'll bet them as home dogs. Maybe we bet them against KC because there's always that rivalry. We got to pick our spots with them, but it's KC, it's Denver, it's Buffalo. We'll see about Pitt. They get Aaron Rodgers. I don't like some guys don't like Will Howard. I'm like, what are you looking at? And their excuse was, well, he got beat out at Kansas State. He didn't get beat out. He was either injured or they went with a running quarterback who sucks. But he didn't get beat out because he was bad. He was pretty good at Kansas State. He was pretty good at Ohio State. That's all I know. So I'm not buying that. That's a weak assumption. I think he'll do very well in Pittsburgh. I think Pitt and Atlanta will do very well. I think Atlanta's problem is their coach and stuff. But see, Oakland solved that. Their coach sucked, but now they brought in with Coach P. Now you have a good coach. You can steal some games. So overall, it's average, but but Gentry will be their star, like Brock Bowers last year. So you got Brock Bowers, Gentry, the tight end from Notre Dame, and Geno Smith. How big's your line and how good's your defense? It's always about defense. So they could be an over team. We'll see. But they got balance now. So there's hope, but there's still a quarterback away and some defense away. But the key is you got Coach P, and that should make you feel good. All right. So the Yankees, Tampa, the Yankees aren't hitting, but they should hit Littell. I'm not. The Yanks are $2. It's a 9.5. I really don't know what to do with that. I guess we'll go over because Tampa's been hitting, but not. I'm not doing anything with it. Houston and the White Sox. The White Sox won yesterday. Houston a 275 favorite, 7.5 total. White Sox are up to 9-23. Hunter Brown 4-1 with a 1.22. Davis Martin 1-3 with a 3.24. You got to go with Houston here. Hunter Brown. So I like Houston 2 units. Again, I'm getting in trouble with taking the 1.22 pitcher against the 3.24. And then he gives up 5 runs, and then the guy with the 3.24 shuts him out. And it makes no sense when that's the point of the 1.22 ERA guy. You don't think they're going to score a lot of runs. So if they don't score a lot of runs, what are you going to do? So that's really the problem. I don't know what to say with that. It's all you can do is be consistent and just keep betting the 1.22s against the 3.5s, or you bet them under. Over under 7.5. It's in Chicago. White Sox. I'll take Houston, but we'll see. Again, very small. The Mets in the St. Louis. The Mets 168.5 in St. Louis. Tyler Miguel 3-2 with a 1.74 against Eric Fetty 1-3 with the 4.68. Prudence recommends taking the Mets. Let's look at the Mets with 4 hitters in St. Louis with 4 hitters. So they both have some hitters, but that doesn't mean anything because it's an average. So they could go 0 for 4 and they could go 4 for 4. And the 180 guy can go 4 for 4. That's where I really lose my mind. So I'm gonna take the Mets, but I'm not gonna bet them for the same reason as Miguel's got a 1.74 and the other guy's got a 4.68. So if everything goes according to Hoyle, St. Louis, the Mets win 4-2. Cleveland and Toronto at Toronto 145.8. Gavin Williams 2-2 with the 5.14. Kevin Gausman 2-3 with the 4.50. Let's see. So terrible pitching. Is there hitting in Cleveland or Toronto? Toronto 4 hitters, Cleveland 4 hitters. I have to update that. I think I'll update that today. 145.8. We should be able to get over Toronto over 8. I'm not going to bet it. The one thing I learned yesterday is Colorado, one of these teams has a terrible bullpen. I think it's Colorado. Colorado plays the Niners. Colorado's 6-26. They're on the road. They don't do much. Look at the Niners, 275 favorite, 8.5. Bradley Blaylock, 0-1 with a 10.29. Jordan Hicks, 1-3 with a 6.12. Total of 8.5. Colorado just stinks. Colorado has 2 hitters. This is the problem in the Niners. But Colorado did win the game yesterday. The Niners have 3 hitters. I think they have 4. I was looking at the box score. Colorado's really got a lot of bad players. And 1, 10, 12. So this looks like an over with these pitchers. San Fran over 8.5. I'll go 2 units because it's only 8.5. It's not 10. San Diego and Pittsburgh. San Diego minus 102. What's that? And 9. Randy Vasquez 1-3 with the 4.28. Bailey Falter 1-3 with the 5.93. It's what do we got? Pittsburgh's a San Diego can hit. Vasquez 4.28. This should be an over, but Pitt doesn't hit. What do I got Pitt at? Pitt's got 4. I changed that. So Pitt's got 4 hitters now. I think their one hitter is starting to go. I can't think of his name. San Diego with 7 hitters. San Diego can hit, but some of them got injured, I think. But the pitching's terrible. The problem with the bullpen is they got 10 guys in the bullpen. So who do you look at as the bullpen guys, right? The Tigers will bring in 3 guys and then bring in 3 different guys. I can't analyze that because if they had this Raleigh fingers coming out, I could analyze it, right? But there's 3 guys. Oh, okay, they're good. And then there's 3 other guys that aren't so good. Well, you don't know who's getting in the game. It's ridiculous what all this analytics, just terrible. So by the pitchers, it should be an over. By the hitters, San Diego can hit. Yeah, let's take San Diego here. I think just because they got all the hitting, and I don't want to really fuck with an over with Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh doesn't hit. Oakland and Miami. Miami 128.5. Oswald Cobblepot for Oakland 2-4 with a 4.31, and MMcwire 2-3 with a 3.18 for Miami. Oakland's been playing well. They're 18-15. Miami's 12-19. Cobblepot 2-2 with the 4.31, and MMcwire 2-3 with the 3.18. What do you do with this? Jesus. Oakland with 4 hitters. Miami with 7. Holy shit. All right, we're going to go over with this. Oakland over 8.5. We'll make this 2 units since they have hitters and this is weak pitching. This should be good. Minnesota and Boston. Minnesota 105, 9.5. Bailey over 3-1 with the 4.13. Hunter Dobbins 2-0 with the 2.45 for Boston. Minnesota's favorite in Boston. Total of 9.5. Boston has no hitters. Boston's only got 3 hitters. I don't know. All their guys went to the Dodgers in Arizona. Minnesota, on the other hand, has 1 hitter. So there's no. How are they going to get to 9.5? I'm going to go under. Boston under 9.5. The number's too big for the amount of hitting, and you got a 2.45 ERA with Hunter Dobbins. I think he actually might win, but let's just play it under. Arizona and Philly. Philly really strong. 18-14. They're not as strong as you think. The Cubs are 20-13. Arizona 17-15. Philly's a 125-point favorite. 9.5 in Philly. Brandon Pfaadt 5-1 with the 2.78 for Arizona. Aaron Nolan. Oh, this is an easy one. I'm taking Arizona. I'll go 2 units. Pfaadt's got a 5-1 with the 2.78, and Aaron Nola's 0-5 and a 5.4, and he keeps losing. He's not a real good pitcher. I mean, he was decent, I think, on the Yankees, but look at him, 0-5, 5.40. Washington, Cincinnati. Cincinnati minus 198.5. Trevor Williams 1-3 with the 5.70. Nick Lodolo 3-2 with the 2.25. I'm going to go with Cincinnati here. No bad. I like Lodolo 3-2 with the 2.25, but Trevor Williams 1-3 with the 5.70. I don't know. Seattle, Seattle minus 139. They're 19-12 for a team that has no hitting. They're winning a lot of games. What do I got with Seattle? They got 1 hitter, 8 no hitters, 1 hitter, and they're 19-12. So Go figure that one out. Texas 16-17. So Seattle's the better team, and they're favored by 130. Luis Castillo 3-3 with a 3.62 against Patrick Corbin 2-1 with a 3.79. So we're going to have to go over or under. And we said Texas 3, Seattle, no, they don't have hitting. Texas can really hit. Let's go under here. Let's go Texas, and we'll go under 9. The Cubbies in Milwaukee. This will be a good one in Milwaukee. Cubbies 20-13. The Cubs minus 110, 8.5. Jameson Taillon for the Cubbies, 1-1 with a 4.01 against Jose Quintana, 4-0 with a 1.14. Why are the Cubs favored here? The Cubs have 7 hitters. That's one reason. Milwaukee 5. Normally this would be high scoring, but with Quintana 4-0 with a 1.14, I'm going to go with Milwaukee. But you got to be careful. I'm not betting it, but they're at home and they've got a good pitcher going. Taillon's 1-1 with a 4.01. Milwaukee can hit, so can the Cubs, but it's not in Wrigley. So we'll give a little edge to Milwaukee as a live dog here. The Dodgers at Atlanta, so they had to travel to the East Coast. The Dodgers are favored, of course, 102, 8.5. Roki Sasaki 0-1 with the 3.55 against Spencer Swellenbach, 1-2 with the 2.87. It's in Atlanta. I'm going to go under Atlanta, under 8.5. We've got Spencer Swellenbarger is pretty good, 1-2, but a 2.87. And again, it's an average, so you got to take that into account. The Dodgers, they usually have a lot of hitting. They only got 4 hitters, so let me redo this after the games today. And Atlanta is 4 hitters. So, and again, it's 4 hitters with the 275 average. Doesn't mean a whole lot, but it's the non-hitter. It's when they have 6 guys that can't hit 200 that you're like, I don't think so. KC and Baltimore. KC minus 110 and 9 at Baltimore. Chris Bubic 2-2 with the 2.25 against Tamuku Sugano, 3-1 with the 3.0 for Baltimore. Not a lot of hitting for Baltimore. Not a lot of hitting for KC. I'm going to go under 9 here. KC under 9. And, this is the Fox game. They're actually showing a game on TV. And the night game, Detroit at California. The game was tied 1-1 going into the 9th, and Detroit scored 8 runs, I think, in the top of the 9th to win it 9-1. Unbelievable. I don't know why it's so hard to get Detroit out in the 9th inning. They look for walks. They foul a lot of pitches out. Not the minor league. Detroit minus 185, 8.5 in LA. You've got to be kidding. Or in Cali. Jack Flaherty 1-3 with the 3.34 against Kyle Hendricks, 0-3 with the 6.65. So I'm going to go over Detroit over 8.5, and I will not bet Detroit. There you have it. So it's the Yankees over 9.5, Houston 2 units, the Mets, Toronto over 8, Frisco over 8.5, 2 units, San Diego, Oakland over 8.5, 2 units, Boston under 9.5, Arizona 2 units, Cincinnati, Texas under 9, Milwaukee, Atlanta under 8.5, KC under 9, and Detroit over 8.5. So the bets are Houston, Frisco over 8.5, Oakland over 8.5, and Arizona. And we'll see. Again, it's all theory based, where you're looking at a pitcher with a 1.0 ERA going against a pitcher with a 5 ERA. The pitcher with the 1 should win. He shouldn't give up 5 runs, and the pitcher with the 5 shouldn't give up 1. But this is what you got in minor league baseball. This is not Major League Baseball. There's very few major leaguers out here. It's really pathetic. It's as bad as basketball, where Luca Brasi's going and shooting 3-point shots all game, not passing the ball. He just dribbles, and shoots. Are you kidding me? What the hell is that? That's ridiculous. All right. Let's go to Mark McGwire. Anything else in sports? Let's take a look at anything in the NFL. I don't really do the Kentucky Derby. I don't really know any of the players. What's with all the prank calls? Raiders first round. Ashton Gentry also received the prank call. How are the numbers getting out there? See, they're hacking into the database where the numbers are. So you shouldn't put it in a database. And this is what I warn you Bitcoin people about. You're going to look in your account. All of a sudden you see a big fat zero. What are you going to do? Who are you going to go to? Mr. Bitcoin? Mr. Fuji, Sakasaka Kamasaki, and go, hey, yeah, my Bitcoin's gone. Yeah, we know the Russians stole it or the Chinese stole it. So this whole thing's so stupid. Let's see. Marshawn Lynch approved selection of Ashton Gentry. Oh, well, thank God Marshawn Lynch approved it. Four teams have put immense pressure on their rookies to justify being drafted. Huh. Bill Belichick's losing his mind with his girlfriend who looks like a stripper who's controlling him, and he doesn't care. He's like retired. It's like, I don't care. She can do what she wants. Not much going on. Aaron Rodgers still. Well, I don't see anything on Aaron Rodgers. So I guess he hasn't signed yet. All right. Let's go to Mark McGwire.
When I started doing this warm water trick to help me lose weight, my friends laughed at me. But when they saw how...
You saw 2008 when...
Okay, so Mark's title is 1st of July Gold Liberation. Mark is just by himself. It's a very good video. He explains what happened when the gold went way up to 3,500 and way down. Brics, gold-backed currencies coming. Comex getting blown up July 1st, as I've said, and it'll probably be, I don't know if they'll wait for that, but it's getting blown up. So buy especially your silver now. Let me know if you have questions or comments, anything else on sports. I can interrupt. We'll just play some of the key parts, but I've given you the overview. So let's get to the video.
Hey, Andrew, we've distilled quite a few community member questions over the last 2 weeks. Most of them relate to the extreme gold market volatility since we recorded our last episode here on the 16th of April. And after, I would say, a 360 round trip, gold is trading very, very close to where we were 2 weeks ago. So can we start here in this episode?
Yes, and thank you, Shane. Nice to be with everyone, by the way. And thank you, Shane, for compiling those questions. But Shane's going to be going through a new way of you guys bringing your questions in audibly. And so he'll go through that in a little while. But that way you've got a real direct voice question that I will respond to, or I can directly answer.
Yeah, Mark, you get it. Go on, move on.
It's new. It's for you. So anyway, let's get going because we've got a lot to get through here. And yes, so Shane, to answer this question and to answer the subscriber questions, this last 2 weeks, actually, what it does is it presents a perfect example for us to pick apart how these volatile ranges are created. Now, you just looked at a massive ramp and comeback. I mean, you're talking about $360 round trip. Now, where we expect the ebbs and the flows of tariff volatility to influence speculator-driven volatility, and we expect that to continue, it's not going unnoticed that despite official best efforts to cap gold's physically driven, it's been mostly physically driven, second quarter Asian-driven 360 rally from 3,150 into last Tuesday's, and I will say it was a holiday-thinned test of 3,500. But the point I'm trying to make here, this entire rally has rallied into declining COMEX open interest, i.e., the amount of chips that people want to borrow from the casino are dwindling. This dwindling supply of cash settled, let's say 4% back casino chips, it underscores mounting evidence that the leveraged cash settled COMEX is rapidly losing pricing power over net stable funding, compliant, fully deliverable spot physical exchanges, which actually require a fully paid for bullion bar ownership before it can be offered for sale, as benchmarked by China. Now, to start with your first subscriber question, Shane, let's analyze what's driven this extremely volatile two-way action that we've just experienced since our last episode that was recorded on the 16th. And as it provides, as I say, it is a perfect example of how COMEX-centric paper-to-physical CTA, that's the Commodity Trading Advisor, US-centric traders, how this gold wash and rinse, how their gold wash and rinse cycles are enabled around them. But also, it's going to illustrate their limitations, or the cartel's limitations, as we progress through this second quarter into the UN.
So what he's talking about is when gold hits 3,500 and then it goes down to 3,200, and you're washing out the traders who are shorting. That's what's happening, right? The traders are shorting it, and then it goes down, and then they buy it, and they make money both ways, I guess. But there's less and less of them, is what he's saying. They're getting out of the game and probably going into Bitcoin, watching Bitcoin go from 75 to 97 to 75 to 97, probably. This is, so this is nearing there's not as many people doing this game, and that's what he's saying. So that's why it should be ending soon. It'll go to China, but that's what he's talking about. I know he's kind of hard to follow.
1st of July, Basel III compliance, which is the staging post for the resumption of the physically driven rally into our end of quarter 4,000 to 4,500 estimations. These are minimum estimations. Now,
so that's gold at 4,500 second quarter, because it goes Basel III and it goes first tier asset. So what's that? Well, Basel III means you have to, if I stand for delivery on the gold and silver derivatives, the options that I show you, you have to pay me in gold or silver. You have to give me the physical. They don't do it now, especially in silver. They do it a little in gold. That's what all this gold came into the U.S. for, was because they have people waiting to get the gold and stand for delivery. And they're going to do that with silver, and that's what silver's going to boom. This happens July 1st. That's what I'm telling you. You've got till July 1st. Then it's going to really go. So that's what we're waiting for. And it's May 1st. So June 1st, July 1st. It's May 3rd. But so we got 2 months. Just be patient. And then me and Luke can go to Capitol Grille somewhere. Hey, Prophet, good morning. Oh, happy birthday. No, I wasn't on. I had something to do with Alyssa, and I will talk to you about it as I share all my little adventures when we're done with Mark here. But happy birthday. Okay, so July 1st is the date, Basel 3, which means they have to pay off when you stand for delivery on the option, you have to pay them the physical. And everything's turning physical, and that's what you got to realize.
Given the latest bout of volatility is the yet lack of compliance between 100% Basel III compliant global foreign exchange spot market and the non-compliant US markets. So this is
So what he just said there is everything's Basel 3. You have to, if you do an option and you short it and I buy it and I said, I want the delivery of that gold, you have to give it to me. The US is not compliant in it, is what he's saying, until July 1st. I don't even know how COMEX can go if they're not going to be compliant, but the US isn't Basel 3 yet. And that's what we're going to be July 3rd. There isn't enough gold to settle these options. That's the key to it. Once there's enough gold, they're going to have to buy the gold at a much higher price. So his limit was 4,000 to 4,500 on its way to 10,000. But he's just, there's, so it'll be 4 to 4,500. So it's buy as much as you can now. It's cheap, and you want to get out of the money before that goes to zero. One real quick thing, I was listening to some Keynesian talk about they didn't know what money was. Nobody knows. The central banks don't know what money is. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what money is? Here, definition, money, medium of exchange, work for money to buy food. It's a medium of exchange. What's so hard about that? Well, they don't know how much M2, M3, M4. It's not about that. It's what everybody wants. It's really convenience developed by economics. It's why do we have this? Why isn't this money? Why is this money? It's just more convenient and what everybody wants. But you can't print it to death. And we know how much is printed. So I don't know what the guys, it's a store of purchasing power. But yet, if you keep inflating it, it has no purchasing power. It's a unit of account, measurement of account, common denominator, made or lost money. But that's what money is, and the qualities of the medium of exchange, as I talk about. It's got to be portable. It's got to be scarce. It is not scarce. Overabundance makes it lose value. Divisible, so you can do small exchanges. Fungible, it's always the same. A dollar is a dollar is a dollar. I can't stand that. There we go. So it's got to be fungible. It's got to be acceptable. Like right now, everybody talks Bitcoin. Well, go take Bitcoin to a restaurant. You can, and maybe one pizza place will take it, but go to Capital Grow. You think they're going to take Bitcoin? No chance. It's got to be durable. Well, gold's durable. The value is the most marketable commodity. That's what money is. It's used as the medium of exchange. You get it and then you spend it. That's all it is. They keep calling it debt and credit, and no, it's money. Money is money. It's just money backed by nothing versus gold, which is money that is gold. I mean, that I don't know why these guys have such a hard time explaining it. Anyway, back to Mark.
You need to drill into here because this has enabled this asymmetrically imbalanced trade, which has enabled a lot of.
Again, what he's saying is that the U.S. isn't compliant. So the rules are if somebody takes delivery of the derivative or the option for gold and silver, they're supposed to pay it, and they're not. They're not being compliant, and that's what happens July 1st. So then we'll see prices really skyrocket. So it's coming.
So what I want to do is explain in very simple terms how the officially sanctioned CME LBMA gold cartel has been able to exploit these differences, but how this has to end into July the 1st, US compliance by the end of this second quarter that we're in now. We're about to commence the second month of the second quarter. So basically, that's what we're going to do here. The reason we are certain that these differences are officially sanctioned is because billions of dollars of foreign exchange gold and silver derivative bets that are recorded in the Office of the Comptroller, the OCC Quarterly Derivative Report, which is published, into which we evidenced, is always being evidenced at the end of a month. You see, it's a quarterly report, but at the end of each month, these derivative positions are marked to market, as is happening today.
And that's why you see the price drop at the end of the month, which is what happened on the 30th. The price take down from 33 to 32. They mark to market, and then now it works back up because it's too cheap and there's too much demand. As he said, was you going to say at 3,200, there's a whole lot of buying, so it's not going to fall under that.
Not an SFR compliant. So when these unbacked bets are marked to a market price at the end, in other words, suck it up, that's the price, and that happens at the end of each month, every single 2